Welcome back to another episode on the Solent Warrior. We're out in Cornwall with our John. So today we are going to head out and we're looking for some wrecking. We're heading out a little bit late this morning because we're going to be going out for slack tide, see if we can pick up some live baits. We might pull some bars on the way out, but we also need some baits for the rest of the afternoon as well. There's going to be all sorts of different bits and bobs we're doing today. We'll just go through it with you as we're doing it, and we'll adapt to whatever fishing we need to do to have a good day. Let's just get going. Well, I think you better run. First thing first this morning is we're looking for some fresh baits. We've just come across a little patch of mackerel, quite high up in the water. What we've done is we've got two different sets of feathers on. John's running some sabikis, and I'm running some mackerel feathers, just to see what the bait fish want. Once we start picking them up, if one's working better than the other, we'll swap over.
You call him mackerel? I would say falcon with it.
Not sure. Not mackerel.
Oh, big old ballon.
It's not the live bait we want.
Nope.
It's not the live bait we're looking for. Yeah. There we go. Finally found some baits.
There you go.
And exactly what we're looking for.
Not too big, not too small, just right.
Scad.
Scad. Oh, good enough. Just keep seeing that.
Okay.
Just on the beach.
Okay.
Otherwise you're going to end up twisting each other out.
Yeah. What John just mentioned there is we've got a bucket down there with some water in for the live baits. Now, if you load that bucket right up with fish, then they'll be fighting for oxygen and most of them will die very quickly. So we've kept a small handful in there, 2 or 3, and then the rest will go into another bucket, a dry bucket that will be used for bait later on. So we've got a few live baits to start with, we're happy.
Tell you what, we'll have those. That right there would like be bass candy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scad. Got a real good lad.
They're so hardy, they last a long time, don't they? They can handle sitting in a... I've been out mackerelling and picked up a scad and had it in a bucket in the back of the boat and forgotten about it. Come back the next day and it's still alive. Perfect size. Bucket or... yeah, big old scad. Bucket or... No?
dispatch these and put these aside.
Right, we've got enough bait. Next stop.
There is a wreck that I would like to try about 7 miles from here.
Okay.
We will have a look for bird sign on the way there. We've got slack water here now in about 20 minutes.
Okay.
And you know it changes as we go off.
So you said you follow the slack water out
So,
almost. There we go. We've got a plan. And like I said a minute ago, we'll adapt to whatever is chucked at us, but let's go find some fish.
Bird sign is what we're after right now.
Yes. We're starting to see a little bit of life. So we're starting to see some birds searching. We're starting to see a few dolphins here and there. But we're going to carry on steaming to where we're heading. If we see some tuna, we will stop. Right, we've seen a few birds diving. We've seen some dolphin. We may have seen 1 or 2 tuna. Now, John has been very lucky to be able to get a recreational fishing licence.
Very lucky.
Very lucky for catch and release tuna. So, we're going to set up 2 bars, and John is going to set another 3rd rod up with a dead bait on it. We'll explain how we're doing it, when we're doing it, but we're going to get it all set up now. Fingers crossed we can find a fish. Let's get it set up. We've got 1 bar out at the moment, and John is setting up dead bait. We are now marking a few tuna. Staying deep at 60 foot. There's the dead bait, all ready to go. Lots of bird life up in front of us, so we're in for a great chance here at the moment. Slowly trolled some bars out to one of the wrecks that we wanted to fish for pollock. So we are here and we have another tuna. John will remember these. We used to call them helicopter rigs back in the day.
Back in the old days.
Back in the old days. So I stick with it. And if you watch my videos, you'll know that I use it for all sorts, not just wrecking. So we're just coming across a wreck now, and John is smack banging into a pollock on the first drop.
First drop of the first drift. It's just a curse usually, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a good job I don't believe in things like that.
All we're doing is just dropping the rig down into the wreck. As soon as it hits the bottom, lock the reel back up, and then 10 winds back in.
This I'm interested to see how yours fishes, because you also fish a shorter trace than me. I've got about 8 foot, and I vary sometimes between 10 winds, 15 winds, 20 winds.
Yeah.
I'll play about until I find the depth. I mean, that was maybe 2 winds off the bottom when that was struck. There's fish there on the sand. Look.
Yeah.
We're in 74 metres and they're marking at about 62. So yeah, probably 10 to 12 winds.
We've just come off the back of the wreck now.
Yes.
It's not a bad fish.
Still got.
You'll notice John really took his time bringing that up then. If it's a fish that you don't want to keep, or you want to try and get back, slow and steady is the way, because they do suffer from baritone.
This one's been in a net.
right off the back of there. There we go.
Just spin it round for you. Right. Oh, excuse me. There we go. Look, there's the lure. There's the fish. You can see this big scar down this side here. Looks like a line mark. And as Dave was saying, yeah, if you don't want to keep a fish, the way I look at it is I like to think that I would like the option of returning a fish if I don't want to keep it. Now this one you can see its eyes are still in. There's no blistering down the sides. Swim bladder's not out because I took my time. This one should go back by itself, and if it doesn't, what I'm going to do is maybe struggling a little bit. I'm going to get my descender out and I'll drop him back to that.
Right, so that pollock hasn't gone back, he's floated back up. So what John has got, it's called a descender. So you hook this onto the fish and then you're able to send it back down all the way to the bottom, which will start balancing its own pressure out then. And then with a nice big pull, this comes out and the fish is able to get back down into the wreck.
It dove down for about 5 meters and you just saw it struggle and the buoyancy brought it back up. So it just needs help, I reckon, to get to about 20 meters and then it starts swimming back by itself. All I'm going to do here is, let's see, I've clipped it up. This spike goes in just through the soft part. Well, you can see there where the hook was. Just wants to go through a soft part of its jaw like that, and then you untangle this rod. You just let the weight carry the fish down to the bottom. And you might even be able to watch it on the sounder. Just to see that line dropping down.
Yeah. So he's down at about 15 meters.
No, there's the line. It's at 45 meters. And then all you do, once you've got it down to a depth, is literally just pull like that. And it pulls it out of its lip. And the fish has got down to depth, so I've counteracted the buoyancy of any air that was in it. And it'll just swim back down to the bottom. And you'll always get people that say, oh, how would you know? Well, the way that we know is because when we were trialling these descenders, scientists sent cameras down with them, watching them, and you just see as it gets deeper and deeper, the fish starts coming more and more alive, and then when they hold it there, the fish will swim back. There you are. And actually you can see this fish swimming down there, look.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so he's just come down, he's at about 60 metre now. So that fish will survive. Let's get back around on that, I think.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where you, like, if you drag a fish up and you know its eyes are out and its guts are on it,
Yeah,
it
exactly,
is pretty much, it's off.
Yeah.
But that one there, because I took the time with it, you come up, no blisters in it, swim bladder wasn't out, it was just, couldn't fight what little buoyancy it had.
No. We do want to keep a few pollock today. I don't know whether, are you going to keep a few?
If there's any that won't go back, like I
Yeah.
said, I like to have the option to put them back if I can.
Sure.
If there's some of them that come up and for whatever reason they won't go back, I'll gladly take them, but otherwise.
I'm going to keep a handful, and you may even get a catch and cook at the end of this. But we've already got some fish at home that needs eating, so we'll work it out.
This is, people will see me behind me, but this is my trace that I've got about 7 feet, and I'm just checking the trace after I've had a fish. I just run my fingers down the line to see if there's any nicks. You feel that about 2 inches off the hook.
Yeah.
So all I'll do is I'll snip it here where the damage is and retie it on. But if I hadn't noticed that weak part in that line there, if I'd have had a real big fish on, it could have parted it off. And it's always that fish of a lifetime or that PB fish that finds the weakness. drifting at a knot, that's a good speed. There we go.
Come round for a second drift on this. I was just talking to John while we're heading back up to the wreck. I'm going to stick with the short leader for this drift. If John picks up a fish and I don't, we know there's something to change. Oh, there's the fish. Good fish.
Trying to stay out your way.
So I'm going to turn this camera around a little bit.
Oh, I've got to go. Mine doesn't necessarily feel like a pollock.
So it's a bit coddy.
No, we don't get cod down here.
You don't?
I would say in probably the 10 years I've been fishing down here, I've had one good cod session, and we had about 5. Oh, no, that's a cod. Oh, there's a tuna as well, look, it's in mid-water.
Oh yeah. Well, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully
It doesn't.
smash the pollock. You see it get really, really heavy really quick.
Yeah.
You want to call it? How big reckon it is?
Between 7 and 8.
Mine keeps banging its head a lot. Doesn't dive.
Yeah.
So it feels a little bit bassy.
He's going.
Yours is probably doing it.
Yeah. Is it a good time of year for the bass on the wrecks?
I've said this a few times in my videos. We very, very rarely do we ever catch bass on the wrecks.
Right. See,
And
this
then
time of year.
I was just saying it in my last video, and then the next drop I caught a bass.
Ah.
And I was like, oh, that makes me look a bit daft, doesn't it?
See, this time of year we start losing towards the end of September locally. We start losing the fish off the shores, and then they'll start gathering on the wrecks.
Oh, good chance. All the bubbles out.
We together.
No,
No. Oh,
almost.
almost.
Tell you what. Nice brace of fish there, trying to get your camera for it.
Say again.
It's a nice brace of fish there. Yours is bigger than that. Bring that.
There. On the Skerries Pros, of course.
Yeah, mine's a yellow one and it's right down its gullet. I'll show them up to this one for 2 seconds. Yeah. Mine walloped it. There we go. Pop.
Right, I have got a swim bladder visible inside the mouth here. Shall I try and give him a crash dive?
I would stick him in a live bait tank for a couple of seconds.
Okay.
Give me a chance to drop this one back. Go and try. Right. 3 fish. There you go. There's the descender. And all you'll do is just.
Just while John's setting up his descender, I'm going to try and get this fish back with a quick blast. So just torpedo the fish.
Go on. No.
No.
There's the descender. I have talked about people using these in a lot of videos before, and I usually get some smart aleck back, like, oh, well, we're on a charter boat and you do it with 6 fish at a time. It's like, if you have a live bait tank, even if you return 1 fish per drift, if you do 10 drifts a day, you've saved 10 fish. And it's not for everyone. Like if you're taking your time bringing them up, it's they go back loads easier. If they're blown, they're gone.
You think we can get this one back as well?
Still fresh, it's still flapping.
Yeah. Alright, ready? Perfect. Right, that's both fish returned. We are going to move on to another wreck. There is fish here, but they're all of a similar stamp. If we're going to keep any, we want them to be slightly bigger. So we're going to move on to another wreck and just see if we can find some bigger fish. And if we don't, we can always come back to this. We have just come across some birds working and some tuna busting. So the wrecking gear's going to one side for the minute. And the tuna gear's coming back out.
Ain't got the reason, ain't got the rhyme to keep up with this information all the time. So I lose myself in my mind. You gotta kick me out of bed.
It can be quite a hectic way of fishing when we're sort of spreading ourselves out, wrecking or tuna fishing, or we're just swapping up to whatever we need to do to find some fish. But sometimes it's a bit hectic. We've got to the wreck that we were heading for, in the hope we can find some slightly bigger pollock. We're just going to clip the corner, aren't we? We've explained on previous videos that the first drift is almost sacrificial, just to see what your drift line is for the wind and the tide.
Still fish there.
Oh, I picked up something rather small.
Just clip the corner of it.
Yeah. As soon as that hit the bottom, I was getting little plucks. And I think it's probably a big pout. It's always good to find the wrecks that have got pout on, because if there's feed on there, there'll be pollock, there'll be ling. There's no small fish, no big fish.
Right, there's no spot. There's nothing for the big fish to eat.
Whiting.
Oh.
That's the first time I've had a whiting.
Keep hold of that.
I'm going to keep mine in.
I'm going to have one more pull and we'll go around.
What we're going to be doing is, while we've got this last bit of tide, we'll drift for pollock as we have been. Once we lose the tide, we may stick the anchor in and fish for some ling with baits. We may even still drift if we'll see what the drift's like. We have got a little bit of a breeze, maybe 7 or 8 mile an hour, northerlies. North, yeah, it's northerly, isn't it? Northwest. Now we know exactly how we're going to drift. We can go up and we can get on the main part of it.
Right. Another time, if the wreck hasn't broken up at all, we've got to kind of win it.
Yeah, there's a fish.
Far off of it,
About 7 times.
pretty tight.
Not a bad fish. Just bringing this fish up in sort of increments at the moment. When it feels like it wants to go, just letting him go. And when he's swimming up with me, I'll gain a bit of line. Because we explained earlier, if it's not the sort of size I'm looking for, then I want to try and get him back. Or like John said, at least have the option.
I had a strike early on. It's from the trail of the lure.
Like a pouch strike. Yeah, the smaller fish will nip at the tail, and quite often it swings it round and the lure will hook itself and it just doesn't fish properly. This fish is still giving me curry now.
Still going for it, is he?
The gear that I'm using for this, it's a Regiment 3 boat series rod pen. Just got a small jigging reel on. It's called a Gamexus jigging reel. Cheap reel. I think I paid 115 quid. Doesn't need to break the bank. It's a 1220. I like to use long 1220s, especially when I'm wrecking. I feel like it just gives you a bit more play. Ooh. Nice fish. That is a nice fish. The lure is just in his gob. Go anywhere, buddy.
Okay.
Now that is a beautiful pollock. Can you see these blisters at the side? That fish will not go back. There's a lure. Again, these Skerries Pros.
It's a good type of weight you're giving that one.
It's double, isn't it?
A real good fish. That's a sweet fish, mate. Well done. This is a topic actually. There's a few people have questioned my photos before about, well, there, that shows you it's not going back. Look at the air that's inside of its fin.
Yeah, oh yeah.
People have questioned me about the position of the lure, saying, oh yeah, well you must fake it for the camera to take the photo. And I was
You've just
like,
seen that
you've
hole.
seen that all from start to finish. That is literally right in the lip.
There's a lure.
Lovely fish, well done.
And that is going to be coming back to Pompey with us. Now,
Nice and drink.
we've said this many a times on videos. We're going to dispatch this humanely. And we're going to do it off camera because people don't like seeing it. But we're going to bleed it, give it a brain spike, which will relax all the muscles with the brain spike. It cuts off all the neuro electrons going. Neuro.
I don't know what you're saying.
There's pulses that go from the brain into the muscles. If you give it a brain spike, it stops that and releases all of that meat. And bleeding it gets all the blood out of the fillets.
It's chalk and cheese. If you see two fish, one that's been bled and one that hasn't,
Oh yeah.
But there's
Right.
fish here. That's the main thing.
Let's go back round. We'll get this dispatched. See if we can find some more.
Oh, that was right up the top of the wreck.
Small though. That lure got taken very high in the water. I'm not expecting this to be a pollock.
No, man took near the bottom, but again, man's just playing fat epic. I'm not. If it's going to be a pollock, it's going to be a real little one.
Yeah. Getting a little head shaking, maybe a white. We rub it.
Just feel a bit then. Almost like my leg was wrong.
Yeah.
Good tip together. That's wrapped up. Twist chicken over. Good pollock. Just behave like one.
Big white tick.
Pollock.
Sorry?
Pollock.
Oh, it is a little pollock, yeah.
A baby pollock.
Very small.
I'm letting mine thrash out a bit, trying to get some of the air out of it.
I brought this up relatively slow. I think it'll go straight back.
Use the descender, it's just on the side of that green thing if it doesn't.
Gone. Yeah, that didn't give much of a count of
Didn't
itself,
behave
did
like
it?
a pollock at all.
No.
Which, yeah, come up real quick, so as you can see, it
Yeah.
is blown. Unfortunately, so yeah, this one's going to be a keeper.
Mhm.
Like we were saying earlier about the option of taking fish. They're all edible, they're all delicious, and I will happily take them if they won't survive going back. This one won't survive going back. It's gonna hop off.
Do you find
It really did swallow this
do you find any sort of sizes are better for the table? Do you think if they get bigger, they're
That's a moral question, if nothing else.
Yeah.
The minimum landing size for pollock is 30 centimetres. Now this one here, I would put this will be best part of probably 55 to 60. We're dropping that like that. It's been scientifically proven that they don't start breeding properly until they're between 45 and 50. So I will not take a fish that's any less than 50, 55. That'll be as small as any other fish that I want to take. Taking them when they're larger, it's up to you. Usually when you're catching the really big ones, they are on the wrecks, and quite often they don't survive because they've got barotrawler. But there are also ways that you can mitigate that by not targeting them during the months that they're breeding. So like January, February, March, when they're all full of spawn, it's better to leave the pollock alone for a month or two, because it would be like having a long-term investment and then drawing the money out before you get the interest on it. It doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, the answer to your question is no, I don't see there being a maximum size when they start deteriorating in the meat quality, because I've had 20 pounders that have been just as good as 6 pounds. They're all delicious.
We're gonna try one more drift across this wreck for pollock, and as the tide slackens off, we're gonna think about getting some wrecking rigs out. John has his own wrecking rigs that are just fantastic for this sort of fishing. We're hoping to see if we can find some ling on the bait.
We were just discussing it. We're coming down to slack. it's the prime time for drifting a wreck with baits because you're not drifting as fast, so you can spend more time with your baits down in amongst the wreck. If it doesn't work drifting, we will have to wait until the tide starts moving again before you put the anchor down. There's no point putting the anchor down during slack because you just swing around.
There's a fish. Again, a small fish. A lot of small fish on there.
Yeah, come further offshore. You hope to find a bigger fish. There's actually the smaller on this wreck.
Mm. Just bring it up nice and slow and steady. There'd be no point rushing a fish up in the hope that you can get back down on the wreck, especially where we hooked this. By the time I got it up, we would have missed the wreck anyway, so gives you a chance to bring the fish up nice and slow. Try and avoid the barotrauma. I don't think this is even a pollock. But I'm going to treat it as it is, because if it's a small pollock, I definitely want it to go back.
Huh?
A fresh bait. That is a big old wreck pelt. Look at them eyes. Loads of bait underneath us now.
Look, he's pitching out. Look.
Ah,
Pitching out sprats.
there you go.
Again, I knew this was a smaller fish as he thought it took. So I took the time bringing it up.
Yeah, there you go. No blisters.
No blisters, no foam anywhere. Lovely pollock. Yeah, the lure is right in the roof of his mouth. I will send her in. Come up from best part of 80 metres. You'll just stay there for 2 seconds. Like.
What John's got on his rod is he's got a flip swivel on the end of his leader. So he's able just to disconnect all of his gear, hook on a disgorger, descender.
Return to sender.
Descender. Do you find that there's a certain depth that they'll start sort of recovering, or?
No, they depends entirely on the fish. I mean, when you're bringing them up, sometimes you can feel that they scrap all the way. Depends how tight it is when it gets here.
Yeah.
Like that one there was a real sluggish fish. It hardly fought all the way up, so it was still fresh.
Yeah.
This one, I could probably stop this at best part of 20 metres, and
Yeah.
there, look, you see him fighting. He's scrapping to go back, so he's already fighting against it, and we're only at best part probably 15, 20 metres.
Right, we're just coming up to the wreck again. We're going to stick the anchor in. John is going to try and sit us just before the wreck so we can bounce baits back into it and hopefully find a ling. Yeah.
A lot of rope. Try to anchor up on these smaller tides so you don't need as much rope. We're still going to need the best part of 300 metres. So, yeah. This is why Dave and I took the time before we put the anchor up aside to run the rope out to make sure there was no knots in it. Because it's an absolute nightmare when you try running something over the side. I mean, like us now, I'm just letting it run over. When you've got all the weight of the anchor and everything dragging it down to the seabed, to find a knot and you have to hold it in the tide. It's just 5 minutes worth of prep at the start. Save you a lot of messing around. And that is for when you bring it back in. I've worked all this anchor down off the back of the boat, so I've got plenty of space. I'm trying to work them all out through that little tight window at the front of the boat. It's an absolute nightmare. So I've tied the boat off now, so we're anchored backwards. You can only do this on small tides. If you try doing it down your way and anchoring it backwards, your boat would be dragged underwater. So you get small tides, and also I'm in control of it. I'm just waiting until the anchor tightens up, pulls out all the chain and all the rope, and it beds in. And then I'll just pass the remainder of this rope over the top, tie it off to the cleat. And when you let go of here, you'll be swung round. This is one of my wrecking rigs. Very simply, it is like a one hook scratching rig but on steroids. It just wants to be super simple, really strong, and be able to present a bait down in the wreck where these fish live. You don't want loads of knots and beads and clips and all sorts, because it's more things to snag. And also, you're going to be fishing down in a shipwreck. You're going to lose gear. It's inevitable. You want it to be as few components as possible, so it costs you as little as possible. Yeah. This is made with a blood loop. This is 200-pound line and it's doubled over. So I have a standoff boom. I attach a lead at one end, possibly on a weak link, and this goes on your clip. Baited with either like a mackerel flapper, a scad, a whiting, a pouting, anything. Anything that I want to eat.
There's the clip. And there's the rig. So, what sort of size leads do you think we'll be looking at?
8 to 10 ounces.
8 to 10.
None of your Solent leads. Fishing in 20 feet of water and using a pound and a half. Oh, there's a fish. There you go, out there.
We're in. Didn't take long.
I'm going to get murdered by pouting.
Get it?
I hope you don't want to do any talking because you're not going to hear you over this reel.
No.
PODs, aren't they? They're just
Yeah. No idea what it is.
might be a ling. Scrap to start with and then tips up.
Yeah.
This might even be a spur dog. Mr. Pouting. Nicely done. Oh, made a pig's ear of that, didn't you? Well done.
And that is what I came for. Can't see the hook. I don't particularly fancy getting my hands inside that mouth. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. The hook is looped on.
If you can't get it out the conventional way, push it out through the gill. Pull the loop. If you've got the loop, I'll show you.
There we go.
And then all you do is just pull the hook off the end of the loop, and then pull the rig out of the fish's mouth. There you go.
Lovely. Thank you. And that
It's a nice Cornish ling.
is a nice Cornish ling. Larry, cod family. And have a look at them teeth in there, look.
That is the last thing that loads of little fish see. They've got, if you look in, they've got rows and rows. They've got somewhat like the back of the throat, pharyngeal teeth, and then they've got second rows into the end.
Yeah.
Somewhat goes in there, it don't come out.
They're made for killing. There it is. Again, it's going to be bled and dispatched off camera. Perfect. Ah, he's got him.
He's in the wreck as well.
He's still got the fish on?
Yep.
Yeah. Right, so John has got a fish on. It's managed to get into the wreck. All he's going to do now is keep pressure on that rod, and hopefully that fish will come back out of the wreck.
It's 6 or 2 3s in it. You either let pressure off and risk it going further in, or hold pressure on and hope you can pull it out. Yeah, just feel the occasional bang. That lets me know it's there. It's most likely going to be a conger. Ling don't back up into wrecks. Congers do.
Gone.
Feel it chafing backwards and forwards.
Yeah. Is it snap the line, is it?
Man just chafed me off in the wreck. You can see on the bottom probably 2 feet of the leader where it's all chaffed up, where that fish was rocking around in the wreck, and that's all that's happened there. It's just rolled around and patted me off. Like I was saying earlier about the rigs, is fishing in wrecks, you are going to lose gear. I think we've got another
As
one.
you can see,
Got another one of those there with Dave's.
I can feel the lead bouncing, so it's the hook that's into something.
I'll get my glove on in a minute. I'll
So
try
I'm
and
just
twang it.
seeing if I can bang it out myself with the rod.
Put my gloves back on.
Yeah, got it.
Got it. Nicely done.
Well, we got that back. And I've got to rebait it up with a scad. See if we can find one more.
I'm going down with the same rig as Dave, just a wrecking rig. Yeah, well done. Okay. Nicely done now.
You get. Out you get.
Right on the edge of the wrecking as well. Well done.
Oh, there we go. I can feel him tapping away. Surprisingly, they give you quite small taps feel like it could be a pout, but every now and then there'll be a bit of a lunge.
Just see it coming up now. We're at 60 metres.
Yeah, that's a ling.
Hold on.
What was that? Did you see it?
Yeah, saw the splash as well.
I think that was a whale. Yeah, look, big whale.
I think you will. I tell you what, if we can get our anchor up. We'll just sit put.
There's a big minky up in front of us. Yeah. There's the ling. There we go.
Nicely done.
And the hook is perfectly in the side of the mouth. Yeah. There we go.
Just
You couldn't have got a better
he's
hook
actually
on.
just re-hooked himself. That didn't work out so well for you, did it? You have to be careful with these, because like you've seen there, they thrash like crazy. But also, they're full of teeth. And their gill rakers are what gets you. So when we're holding these fish, you'll see us put our hands up inside of the gill cover.
Oh.
Literally a minky world. There. So your fingers don't come in contact with the teeth or the gill rakers, but as soon as they thrash, you need to be really careful.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Pop it down a sec. I'm just going to see if I can get some footage of this whale. There it is.
Fishing trip and a wildlife trip.
Yeah.
Right, I'm just going to jog us over here a tiny bit.
Okay.
And then we'll have another go.
There's them teeth. Beautiful fish.
Well done.
Had a little mooch around and see if we can find any birds working and see if we can find any tuna. But there just wasn't any. There's birds searching, but none feeding. So we've come inshore to fillet all the fish off and pick up the fish locker pots. What I'm going to do, we'll run one fish through with you. I'll get John to explain how he fillets them. And then
Oh, I'm doing the
you're doing one fish. And then we'll just speed through the lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Coming on that liver.
Oof.
How many stuck in the back of his stomach?
Aye.
How many worms are in that liver?
Grotty.
When you look at things like that, this is why I tell people about sushi. If you want to have an itchy bum, yeah, eat raw fish. Otherwise, you know. So loads of different people will have their own little special ways at which they like to fillet fish. This is just a way that it's an adaptation between the way that I've been shown in the past and the way that I find easier. A sharp knife makes all the difference.
Oh yes.
This guy's few strokes as possible. And all I'm doing is I'm just, with this hand, just teasing the meat away from the bones. I'm running the knife like that. Once you get through, you can follow all the bones as like a guide. So you're just running the knife along like that. Take off the fins. There you are.
Beautiful.
There's all the ribs there. There's the back. And then all that's left, if you do it right, all that should be left inside of this fillet here is the pin bones. And you can take those out by working your knife. There, like that. It's called V-boning. You should be able to just, there. It's got all the bones in it there. So this fillet now, let's have a quick look.
Beautiful.
Ling are not the easiest fish to fillet because they're almost like an eel, they just roll around. The same way as you would do a normal fish, I'll start up at the head and then run down along the back, and then I'll break it into two sections. I'll cut through there and I'll deal with this like a pollock, and you have to deal with this separately. Just as before, after the first cut, the knife's going in and you're kind of pressing down on it like that. So you're pressing down onto these bones and just teasing the meat back. Like that. This one looks like it bled quite well. Too long for the board. Right. There's one half of it done. Now this other part here, this has got the loin on it, and depending on the fish, sometimes you get an awful lot of worms in the belly mate of these. I don't know what this is here. It's almost like a, that was almost like a cancerous caterpillar. Give us a second, I'm just going to watch it out on the side. This is where you can do it one of two ways. You can either work from the back and you come through the bones and work along the back of them, or you come underneath and you can see where the bones are, and you either work on the inside of them, like that. Like I say, everyone's got their own different way, but it all kind of meets in the middle. Then you can either go that way around it, or you start from the inside and you go that way around it. Now this has perfectly taken the entire fillet off the side. There is no meat left on this side of the fish. And all I did was I just broke it up into 2 sections. So you dealt with that like a normal pollock, and then this for the loin. If the belly meat is full of worms, like you can see there's a big worm here. Just flick it out with a knife. Well bedded in. There. If the fish does have a lot of worms in it, it happens. Easiest way to do is you just literally run the knife along the inside of the bones. Alright. Another worm that's escaped into the loin there. I'll have to deal with that one separately. Just separate the belly meat from the loin. There. That is what's called a ling loin. Just a lovely cross section of meat. Now it's a really meaty fish, this. You can cube that up and you could even put it onto kebabs on a barbecue, or put it in a stew, or make it into fish cakes, or whatever you want to do with it. But yeah, ling loin is a great way of presenting ling.
Right, that is all the fish filleted off. We just ploughed through it. I showed you a couple. We just ploughed through. And we've got them all nice and clean. That is a hell of a lot of meat to take home. But it is all going to freeze down. This is all of the ling loins. This is all the big pollock fillets. But that is going to make some fantastic meals in the Collins household. Just what we wanted. Right, so John's asked me to pull the pots for him. Now in his videos, he makes this look very easy.
So easy.
I'm assuming it's not. Let's get it going.
Actually, I just wanted to add.
Yeah.
I'm going to stand on this side and cancel it. On the green yet?
Yeah.
Now hand over hand. See how it's rougher for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Keep going. Now if you reach over, grab the pot in your right hand, lift it up onto the roller. Oh yeah, big one. The wind round.
That way.
Right, spin it round. One more. 90 degrees.
That way, yeah.
Yeah, one more.
Here we go.
Right. If you want to show what's in it, I'll keep hold of this for you.
Okay.
You're heavy, aren't you? So just lift the pot up because it's in that corner.
We've got, don't know if you can see that. Nice big octopus in there. Right, so nice big. It's probably hammered a couple of lobsters. Actually, there's no lobster shell in there.
Very good. How about it? There it is.
Woo!
Not easy.
It's not. Of course, he's just going to jump straight on it. And pulled. Is one locked in? Ah, I knew he wasn't being a gay boy.
Should be alright. We can get this one up. Now here. There you go.
Right.
Now. Thought you were being a bit. All I did was pull up tight on it, and the wind against the boat was enough to pull it out. So, quickly, you pull the rope in one, reach down, go over the top.
Oh, what a shame. Ah, me towel, man.
Right, we can see it. Two more big ones. Use these things out. Come here, look. Get rid of it.
Yeah.
Lift it up. That has had. Yeah, that's had something in it as well, but they're the issue.
So this pot would have had a nice big lobster in it, but unfortunately we've had an octopus in there. If you've been watching John's videos, these things are causing absolute havoc at the moment. They are munching through everything. Massive influx.
Yeah, that would have been a nice one as well. I'm going to slide that pot across. There you go. Also, what people don't get from watching the videos is the smell.
Yeah, it's pretty stinking, isn't it? So there's your lobster.
That's how big its claws would be.
Ah, what a shame.
Yeah, big female.
What a shame. Spiny starfish.
That's how big,
Yeah.
that's how big the body would have been.
Ah, massive.
Yeah, it could be 110.
110.
Right. You know what that is, don't you?
Is that
It's falling down to it.
is that ling?
Dogfish.
Dogfish.
Dogfish spine.
Right.
Pollock.
Pollock head.
There's the eyeball.
Size of his eyes, yeah.
Spiny starfish.
Spiny.
Yeah, it's
another spiny.
It's a pretty barren day when you've had them octopus amongst it, isn't it?
What a shame.
And the other one's the same. The other one's got a couple of little specks of crab shells in it. So we've had an octopus in that one, so if you want to slide that one out to the side.
And this is the culprit. This is, these aren't native, are they?
They're a Mediterranean octopus.
Mediterranean octopus.
It's Vulgaris, Mediterranean octopus.
Unlucky for this guy, they actually taste very nice. So this is coming home with the pollock and the ling. Do you dispatch them the same as a squid?
You can't, no, you need to either chop the head off completely.
Right.
Some folks turn their bodies inside out, I think it's barbaric.
Yeah.
I will show you how to dispatch them, but I'm not going to show you on camera.
No,
because
sure.
It's pretty graphic.
Yeah, but that is the problem. Well, John's pots are getting absolutely buggered at the moment with...
Well, look at the size of it, mate. I mean, one side to another, you're 4 feet across.
Yeah.
And it's got... Well, this is how you can tell the difference. The curled octopus, the native ones, have got one row of suckers. And you can see that these have all got 2s.
Get him in a bucket.
I was going to stick it to your face.
Oh, what's that?
It's jet to where it's
Ah,
got.
it's not his...
You thought it was his penis.
I thought it was his willy as well. You're not staying there, little mate. Oh, the fucking got rope in it now.
Swing and a miss, unfortunately. But yeah, thinning out the octopus.
Well, I think you better run like a kamikaze butterfly right into the sun. Well, you know it's never done. Well, it's all I ever say is I walk the line several times a day. But nothing ever seems complete to me except for holidays. Well, nothing ever really gets.
That's it, the pots are reshot and we're heading back in. It's been a fantastic day out here today, John. Thank you very much.
It's been my absolute pleasure.
And was there a winner?